back again with another video. Today's video is going to be about the power of prayer. A lot of people really don't focus too much on this aspect in voodoo, but I will definitely say, as a person who was brought up in the church and has, been brought up in voodoo as well, I can speak from both ends itself. Now, the power of prayer, those of us who came up in the church, we know that we've been taught that prayer is very powerful. But the only thing about the church is that the preacher, didn't go too much into detail or into the science of prayer. So for those of you that go to church, I think this video will be definitely informative for you guys itself. But whether you're Poncotis, Pentecostal, Baptist, whatever, Baptist, I think this video will be very informative for you as well. Well, let's just put it like this. Prayer can be used for good and it can be used for evil. See, the thing about prayer, we can look at prayer as like an evocation to a degree, or a conjuration, because a prayer, you can basically say this, let's say there's a book called The Power of Psalms. There's a lot of, lovely psalms in that book that a person can use for personal elevation or personal benefit. See, when you put these words out here, these words cause reactions in the universe, in the underlining fabric of the universe, and then it manifests physically. Now, when we put these things out, it is not something that we're going to see like, oh, all of a sudden, it's more what you call things manifest, where it appears, so it's not necessarily physical when you see, let's just say, when I say physical, many people have this robotic understanding of how the universe works. But in reality, for those of you who are into science, you know about quantum physics. Everything says that everything is based upon perception. So looking at the things you see, they're not really there without you, the observer, observing it. So when we're looking at the manifestation of prayer, it is something that brings about changes in what you see. Because when I say what you see, I mean that everything in this universe is immaterial, and its existence depends on our perception or awareness. So when we put these words out, we step outside of our house, we start seeing things in the universe that correlates to the prayer we actually put out. Now, prayer can be used in various ways, as I said, for good or evil. Now, the thing about prayer is that if you're petitioning a spirit, you have to know what the spirit's job and task is. You can't ask a good spirit to do evil, because that spirit will send all that you're requesting back to you. Likewise, but I would say this, an evil spirit is different from a good spirit. An evil spirit can actually do both tasks. They can do good as well as evil. Now, some people may say, who's the best spirit to contact? Well, this is not for me to say. I'm only here to talk about subjects. I'm not here to give people instructions on how to. As many people know, I never do that in any of my videos. So I will say this, is that when it boils down to prayers, they are basically, they're similar to what you call mantras, or for those of you who are into the Kemetic science, you can call them hakuas or something like that, words of power. All those words, and when they're directed to a thing, place, or person, they can affect changes that are of the practitioner's desire. So again, all of this depends on what you desire, and who you actually petition. Because in reality, an evocation is pretty much a prayer. See, if people are foolishly listening to E.A. Coetting, and people are foolishly reading, the book about Goetia with these rituals itself, and their word believing the terms word for word in those books, you'll never understand. You'll never understand evocation. You'll be stuck there thinking that some spirit's gonna appear in front of you in a fire, or in smoke, in a mirror, and you'll never get the purpose of what you're doing. So, with that said, I conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this short video was definitely informative. Peace out.